Is goalie Bob staying around with Sturm?
I'm sure he is.
Oh, thank God.
Marco Sturm will be introduced to the media and to Bruins fans at 11 o'clock this morning.
Oh, welcome, Marco.
Bobrovsky, you're a part-timer on the force.
The 30th head coach of the Boston Bruins. I don't know if Jones and Keefe will take that live or not, or just share the highlights.
I'm going to be at the presser.
But certainly, I mean, if you're Florida, they got some cap space. You probably want to re-sign Brad Marchand. I would assume,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
And he probably wants to stay there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you not? I mean, they're going for the last team to repeat was, I believe it was the Lightning that did it in 2021 or 2022, something along that. Florida has another chance to do it again, to repeat. And then if Marchand's probably looking at it like great organization.
Got Sean Thornton on the staff.
They'll be right back in it again next year.
I think their big thing, though, is they're going to want to re-sign Sam Bennett first, if they can. And then,
well, I mean, Brad Marchand is 37, so a little long in the tooth, but he doesn't look like
no. And you play for a team like that where you don't have to be the guy, where you could just, be a guy that contributes in the way they'd like you to contribute, not expect to carry the team. That's
especially in the regular season, they can kind of just like play him here and there and then really let him loose in the playoffs, which is where he is an X factor.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see him re-signing with them on a 3-year deal. Why wouldn't you? And then he looked like he looks like
a different guy.
Yeah, like he's excited about playing. He just has a different energy about him. And when you change sceneries, that's a lot of times can happen to professional athletes.
Maybe the A is better for him than the full C, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
that's it.
Well, I don't know if
what it is. It was the pressure of being the captain was too much for him here.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's always a tough thing.
Do you think Pasta's rooting for Edmonton?
No, I'm sure he's supporting his friend.
All right.
Best friends.
Let's see. This is Bob from Londonderry, New Hampshire. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Greg. Hi, guys. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
I was listening to Wiggy, talking about the hockey, and it's just my opinion. When you watch these other goalies, we don't have a goalie that can do anything to the degree of what these two guys are doing. We don't have a goalie that has ever really been able to do this consistently. And if you're relying on Swayman for the upcoming season, I don't hold your breath. It's going to be the same rigmarole. And I don't think the Bruins fans are going to be overly excited, even with the new coach. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll find out whether the issue for Swayman last year was that he was all discombobulated by the holdout and the negotiation. And
I mean, he played pretty good for Team USA, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
They won. He dominated.
I mean, I don't know. It's just and I'm not somebody. Courtesy brought this up last week. I'm giving Marco Sturm the same chance that I would give anybody else. I mean, you got a guy who played in the league and is making his way up as a head coach. Might be the thing that these guys need. I don't know. They're just not.
It's a talent. They don't have. I mean, you got to look at when you look at Florida and you look at Edmonton. Just look at the talent level of those two teams to what you got. I mean, Pasta's great, but other than Pasta, you're still the jury's still out on Swayman, right? I think McAvoy, people think that he can be good, but
he's good. McAvoy is good,
but isn't he a little bit inconsistent in some people's eyes?
Well, you could say that about Pasta too. Pasta's had inconsistencies throughout the last 2 years. I think Pasta's a great player, but people have felt like he wasn't living up to the expectation at least last season.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you have, 50 goals last year?
But there were some times where he'd hit dry spells that people weren't happy with.
I mean, if it wasn't for Pasta, I feel like when you look at Pasta, he's your only consistent. You don't know what Swayman is. McAvoy has all
that is so fraudulent.
Well, that's what they're saying.
But during last season, we talked so much about where's Pasta been? Where's Pasta been? Mike Milbury, there was one time he was on that he ripped Pasta, and then Pasta came out firing, the next game. So there was
a small period of time. Wasn't he on some ridiculous 15-game goal scoring streak?
Yeah, okay, you could talk about one period of time, and then he disappeared for like a month. I'm saying I think Pasta's the best player on the team. There's been some inconsistencies the last 2 seasons.
And I would just say, before we say how much better the Panthers are, 1 year ago, not 10 years ago, the Bruins won Game 1 in Florida and had a lead 1-0 after one period of Game 2, about to come home up 2-0 on the very Panthers team that is now 2 wins away from a Stanley Cup for their second straight year. So they were more than in the series. They won Game 1 and were up in Game 2 before the wheels fell off.
Wasn't that when Bergeron was still here, Krejci was still here? It was like a completely
but I'm just
Milbury
saying,
talks about, especially the centerman up the middle, like a completely different team. When you look at it, McAvoy gets paid a lot of money. I think there are people out there that think that he is a really, really talented player, but he is been inconsistent at times. Swayman, it goes either way on him. Some people can't stand him. Some people like him. And when you look at the one guy that is consistent, and yeah, he might hit a little patch where he maybe doesn't score a couple goals in a couple games, is Pasta. That's your best player.
I mean, you're stuck with what you got. You basically sold a bunch of valuable pieces, and so the only way you're getting better is the draft. I mean, you're there's no other way you're getting better. So
right. And Sean, what did you say? Or was you on the thing, and this is going to be like, or maybe Milbury's like, this is going to be a 3-year rebuilding process, or you were like, you could turn it around.
I think this will be a little quicker. Like, I think it'll be this year. They will be fine. They'll be average to below average, and then they will be back in the playoffs the following year.
All right, so no playoffs this year, and then playoffs the following season.
Correct. Yep, and competitive in that following season.